Okay, and we are back. We are back after the hiatus, after the end of the 2024 season. We're ready. We're geared up for a new era of Vikings football in 2025. This is the QR code, and I'm Razor,
And I'm Q.
and here we are. And today we're going to just run down the schedule and we're going to make our predictions for each game and see, and we're going to put that on record. And we're going to see how it goes. I'm hopeful that this is going to be a season that we can remember. I know it definitely will with the in JJ McCarthy coming in and the changes we've made on offense and defense. We may not get the 14 wins we got last year, but this promises to be thrilling as far as I'm concerned. So, with that said, let's get started. Week number one, which happens on Monday night
Dun,
in
dun, dun,
Chicago.
dun.
Yes, we got the
All right.
Bears, Ben Johnson and his crew, Kevin and Caleb Williams. So, this is JJ's first NFL start. What do you got?
It's going to be a beatdown at Soldier Field. And because I think at some point the Bears will figure it out and they'll hover around that 8-9 win mark, maybe. Um, but Monday, the Vikings are all they've done was get better at everything. So they're destined not to play down to their competition. So I got the Vikings winning this one easily.
Okay. I think it's going to be a fairly easy game also because I don't think that Ben Johnson, I have to see it to believe it. Everybody talks about the Bears every year. Every year they come in full of hope and excitement. Ben Johnson, Caleb Williams seems like a match made in Hades to me. The two of them don't have the same style of offense. Ben Johnson is he's on schedule guy and Caleb likes to improvise. This is his second head coach in 2 years in the NFL. I don't see this being the best situation for them, even though it's in Chicago and it's the sort of homecoming for JJ McCarthy. And they're allegedly going to, well, not allegedly, yes, they're supposedly going to be hundreds of JJ McCarthy fans in the stand because he grew up in the area and until 5 months ago, his dad was
Yep.
a Chicago Bears fan. So everybody he knows and everybody that likes him plus there are going to be some Michigan fans there because it's in Chicago. They're going to come over. I'm not going to say it's going to be a Vikings home game, but there's going to be a huge Vikings presence. So I'm going to go with a W there. Week
All
number
right.
two, traveling to the Atlanta Falcons. The Atlanta Falcons come in. This is our home opener against the Atlanta Falcons, who we played last year and it didn't go well for them. What do you say this game?
Well, um, this is another one of those games where I'd like to say the young kid at quarterback's going to figure it out. We'll start playing. He'll get strong as a couple of games go by. Unfortunately, his second game of the season is against Brian Flores' defense. So, um, yeah, I think I think they're going to easily handle the Falcons, Vikings.
Okay. I'm going to say again, this is another tough game. It's going to be a test for the Vikings, but I think Raheem Morris is a good coach. And Michael Penix is an unknown. He started to show some flashes last season, but I think that if you're not ready for this game as the Vikings, if you're not ready for your home opener after all of this time, then you're probably not ready for the season. Plus, this is a Sunday night game, so you've got that extra couple of hours to get geared up, amped up, calm down. So
Mm.
I'm going to go with a W here for the Vikings, and that's puts us at 2-0 to start the season. We stay at home for week number three against the Cincinnati Bengals, and that's a 12 noon game. What say you?
All right, so there are two games that as I was going up and down the schedule, I said, this is how it is. And I said, nah, the Vikings aren't going to win this. They're going to lose this. Now I've kind of flip flopped on that, and this is one of those two games. I had originally picked the Bengals to win this. I'm saying Vikings at home. I I think Vikings again win. I'm not going to say it's easy, but this is going to be one of those ones that it's not. I mean, they're going to have to fight their way through it and win, and they're going to steal one, even though it's at home. I think they're going to steal one from Joe Burrow.
Okay. This is week number three, and we're coming off of what I think is going to be a pretty, well, not tough win, but it's going to take a lot out of us. We're going to travel to Chicago, then we're going to come back home. We're going to play the home opener. This game has all the markings of a classic letdown. Joe Burrow is the Bengals. The Bengals will be traveling to Minnesota with Joe Burrow and wishing they had a defense. The Bengals don't have a defense. I don't think they'll have one by week three. It's hard for me to see the Bengals losing this game. Even though I'd like to pick us to win this game, I'd love to see the Vikings win this game. I think that the Bengals will find a way, or Joe Burrow will find a way to will his way against the Brian Flores defense, arguably one of the best defenses. It will be one at the end of the year, one of the best defenses in football. But this is early. And if we have a weakness, it's in our secondary. If Joe Burrow can get a beat or two, he's going to torch us back there. And I think if there's any quarterback in the first 7 games, 8 games of this season that can do that, it's Joe Burrow. So I'm going to put that as our first loss.
But wait,
Hmm?
before you're 100% sure of that, just remember the fact that they were that worried about about the performance of the secondary.
Hmm.
That defensive line, that pass rush is going to be hellacious. And I think that's what's going to throw Burrow off his game. He's not going to just have his will. He's not just going to have his
Oh,
way with that secondary because he's going to be up against it the whole time.
I think last year our pass rush with Grenard and Ben Ginkel and company were pretty hellacious, and 2 quarterbacks might manage to figure out how to beat us twice. There are certain quarterbacks that are not going to come into US Bank Stadium and let that bother them. There are some quarterback Joe Burrow is one of the 4 quarterbacks that I think would give our defense a hard time. There are only 4 in the NFL. 2 of them beat us last year. Two of
Oh,
them
he's
beat us
amazing.
last year,
He's
and one we didn't
amazingly
face.
cool, man.
Hmm?
He's amazingly cool. I love
Oh,
Joe
oh, yeah.
Burrow, but like I said, I said there were 2 games. So so you can write this one down. This is one of those games that we should, by all means, we should probably just lose this one, but we're going to steal it, even though it is a home game.
Okay.
We're that I think we'll actually beat the better team.
Okay.
Right? All right.
All right. Okay. Week number 4. Moving on. We've got 2 games. We travel across the pond. We travel over to Europe for the first time. An NFL team will play back-to-back games in Europe, which for some reason they picked the Minnesota Vikings to do that. The Minnesota Vikings are the team that if you had to pick one of the 32, probably should have been the ones that they picked. So the first game is against the Pittsburgh Steelers in Dublin. That's an
Vikings.
8:30 a.m. start in Minnesota time.
Vikings.
Okay, I don't think there's a lot to discuss there. They've got the oldest quarterback in the league. Um, there, unless you're Tom Brady, winning, as a quarterback over the age of 40 is just not something people do. I mean, that's the Steelers are probably looking at the number 4 pick overall. They probably have one of their rare Steelers bad seasons, but everybody's talking about Mike Tomlin and what he hasn't won. Mike Tomlin's not on a hot seat because Pittsburgh doesn't fire coaches, but this is a little too much to ask a team like Pittsburgh to overcome. Plus, this will be our first of 2 home games in Europe. It's going to
Yeah.
be
We're the
70 to
away
80%
team.
Vikings fan. Yeah.
We're the away team, but
Hmm.
we're the home team
Yeah,
because the
we'll have a
Vikings
home
are
we'll have a
so
home field
popular.
advantage. Yeah,
You
there's
know
going to be
that's
about
right.
80% Vikings fans. Okay, so now we're going to the second game in this one is in London. We travel from Dublin to London and we
Vikings.
play again. We play the Cleveland Browns.
Hmm. Well, that's easy. This is easy. Um, Vikings are a better team. The Browns are a really, really bad team. And well, they're a very bad team. So, and they again, we're in the UK. We're popular in the UK. We're playing a home game on the road. So, beep, Vikings.
Okay. And again, same thing. It does not. This isn't a game that's really up for debate to me. If we lose this game, then we may as well not get on the plane and come back to the States. I mean, there's no reason to lose to the Cleveland Browns ever. That's the end of that sentence. There's no reason to lose to the Cleveland Browns. Nobody should ever lose to the Cleveland Browns. So I'm going to say that's a W for the Vikings. Then we have the bye. Week number 6 is our
We'll win that.
best part. Yes, exactly. We'll find a way to win that. And we're going to need that because we're going to have 2 weeks, exactly 2 weeks, a little less than 2 weeks because of the time difference. But we have a noon game on the 19th of October against the world champion Philadelphia Eagles. And it's in Minnesota. So we don't have to go to the House of Horrors in Philly. We don't have to go to Lincoln Financial to play them. They're going to come here and play us. But we've got 2 weeks to prepare for them, sort of. What do you say?
Well, so so Razor, I said earlier there were two games that by all accounts we should lose. Where we should lose two games. We're gonna steal it, even though and we're at home both of them because the first one as I said, was the Bengals. The second one, the Eagles. The
Okay.
Vikings will win this.
Okay, so we played 6 games at this point. You have us going 6-0. We're going to 17-0. I don't even know. We should just finish this exercise 17-0. Okay, so the
Maybe.
Eagles, the Eagles, we got the Eagles, and they're coming into Philadelphia off the bye. Kevin O'Connell, unlike some of the previous coaches we've had, Kevin O'Connell doesn't have that stellar record coming out of the bye. And while I think he will have this team ready because I've never seen a Kevin O'Connell team unprepared. I don't think that the Philadelphia Eagles are going to be a team that we can handle at this point in the schedule, which is a good thing and a bad thing. And later in the schedule, I'll bring up why I think that this loss is going to be a good thing. So
Well,
moving on. I've
you'll.
got us as now.
There we go.
Okay.
All right.
And then 4 days later, a mere 4 days after the Eagles game, we fly to the West Coast and play the Los Angeles Chargers.
Yep, the Bolts.
Hmm.
Um, and well, Jim Harbaugh. Um, I I'm not even like going all. He's gonna. He knows JJ McCarthy's brain. Um, Bolts will win this one.
Okay.
So see, yeah, I knew that
So,
the
so that,
losses are coming.
okay. So now that's a third, obviously Thursday night because we don't play games in the daytime on Thursday except on Thanksgiving. Thursday night game. So even though we've only got 4 days, it's technically like 4 and a quarter, 4 and 3 quarters, 4 and a quarter days between games. The game against the Chargers, like you said, Jim Harbaugh basically raised JJ McCarthy as a quarterback. He knows him, he knows his flaws, he knows him inside and out. Again, this is something I'm going to bring up a little later on in our schedule. How a coach knows a quarterback and how that works to his advantage. In this case, I'm definitely going to mark the Vikings with a W. I think this may be the biggest and best game of JJ
Ooh,
McCarthy's young career. I think JJ McCarthy is going to go in there with a head full of Kevin O'Connell. JJ McCarthy spent the last year and a
ooh,
half under the tutelage of Kevin O'Connell. So it's kind of like Your dad taught you one thing, your friends taught you another. The last one to get to you is the ones you follow.
So
JJ
wait.
McCarthy is now the protege of Kevin O'Connell. He's no longer the
Yeah,
young
but
Padawan that
we should write this down that so
I'm gonna say that this to at this point in time, and barring any major catastrophes, I think this will be the circle game. If JJ McCarthy, everybody makes a big deal about the Chicago, he's going home, blah blah blah. As JJ McCarthy said quite adequately, he's becoming a seasoned pro already. Minnesota is my home. This is just a road. This is just a business trip. It's like, yes, Minnesota is your home, but you want to show Jim Harbaugh that you have grown up and you've had a year and a half under a guy who has masterminded quarterbacks from garbage. So, yes, I think this is going to be an easy W. I think this will be his best performance. It's going to be on Thursday night in front of the
wow.
nation. Now, and
Wow.
after that, we've got 10 days rest. The NFL schedule this year for us is crazy with the days off and the days between. We've got 10 days, and Sunday at a noon game, we go to Detroit to play our old friend Detroit, whom Kevin O'Connell just cannot beat. What do you say?
Well, I picked the Lions
Okay.
on the road, and we ain't beat them yet. We ain't. Oh God, my my grammar. Ooh. No, but we haven't beat them yet. There's so until I see otherwise, and the Lions are such a good team at home. I mean, just amazing. So Lions, it'll be
Okay.
competitive. It'll be a competitive game, but the Lions will eke it out at home.
Okay. I got to say, the Lions game on this game scared me. It's one of the three games on the schedule that I wrestled with. This is a W. This is a W. I think we beat the
Mm,
Lions at home. I think we beat the Lions. I'm sorry. I think we beat the Lions in Detroit. I think I think Kevin O'Connell snaps his schneid because just like JJ McCarthy in the Chargers game has something to prove to his old boss. I think Kevin O'Connell has this one circled. Kevin O'Connell doesn't have a lot of failures on his resume as a Vikings head coach. Playoff win, beat the Lions. If you don't have that, if that's not your goal, something's wrong. At the end, just quick sidebar, at the end of last season, after that playoff loss, Kevin O'Connell went to the podium visibly annoyed at our offensive line, and he said, basically, this has got to stop,
right,
and got rid
right.
got got rid of almost everybody. So
I remember.
he things bother him. I am sure hearing that he can't beat the Lions, and the Lions won our division, and then bowed out of the playoffs. So they won our division and didn't do anything with it. So yes. Okay, so on to the November 9th game against the Baltimore Ravens, Purple
Yeah,
Bowl. And this time, Purple Bowl is going to take place in Minnesota.
Ravens still win.
Okay, so you say that's a loss for us.
Yeah,
All right. I'm going to agree with you there because I don't see us beating that team. The defense is not as good as ours, but they have a decent defense. They've got a quarterback that's difficult, and having him playing indoors doesn't help us. It doesn't help us.
right,
He won't have
right,
to deal with the
right.
elements. Yeah. So I mean,
Oh,
he's elusive. I will give him that.
that non-homer logic that we got going on down there. But yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
uh,
I mean, like I said, I've never in my life thought the Vikings were going to go 17-0, and the one time we came close was 15-1, and it should have been 16-0. That was a surprise to everybody. Last year was a surprise to everybody. So, okay. So
okay,
the next week we've got the Chicago Bears coming in. So we've got two home games. It's like two home, two road, two home, two road. That's the way the NFL has treated us this year, basically. So we've got the Chicago Bears, and this time they're coming in to visit us with a quarterback and a coach that should know each other by then. What do you say?
well, hmm. I think so, but I also think that it doesn't even matter because at home against the Bears, this is going to be the one. I'm seeing this as the one divisional opponent that we won't split with. We're going to sweep the Bears this year.
Okay.
The Bears
I
just aren't good. The Bears are a bad team until they show otherwise. I mean, they've been awful. And, okay, just like with Sam Darnold a couple, last year. Oh, yeah, I'll believe later on, but I don't think they're going to be undefeated coming into US Bank Stadium. So, uh, Vikings,
okay. I'm going to
and that's
say the
probably a blowout too.
yeah, I'm going to quote the late great Dennis Green. I'm going to say the Bears are who we thought they were. This is a W. This is a W. Moving on.
Hmm.
Now we come to the fun part of the schedule, in my opinion, week 12, 13, 14, and 15. This is, to me, this is the most fun part because now we're settling in. It's the holiday season coming up, and we're starting it off with the Green Bay Packers, the first time we will see them this season. November 23rd is the first time we will face the Green Bay Packers. What do you say on that game? And that game, by the way, is at Lambeau, the frozen
Packers
tundra.
win. I'm just picking the Packers. We're just going to split with them
Okay.
because I think they are going to be good. They're going to be better, but and then Micah Parsons. Uh, that's a huge gain for them. I'm giving it up for Green Bay. That was just a good get right there.
Okay. I'm going to say that uh, that game at Lambeau is going to be a tough game. The weather's going to be a factor by then. I hate going to Lambeau in the winter, especially, well, it's not quite winter yet, but it's going to be cold enough. The Micah Parsons thing, I checked, and it turns out that every single year that Micah Parsons has played, his team has won the Super Bowl. Every single year Micah Parsons has played, he's won the MVP. So there's no way a team is ever going to lose. No, I'm sorry, I'm wrong. I'm wrong. He's never won anything. He's never won anything in his career.
Wow.
I don't know what the hype is about a guy who apparently is too hurt and may not even play the opening week. Okay. So, it's not like he's Reggie White and he's going to destroy offenses. He was on Dallas and Dallas managed to go what almost 30 years now without winning anything. So, one guy on that team is not it's not like bringing Brett
No,
Favre
but
to the
the
Vikings
one
that are
guy,
already stacked.
I think the one guy is going to make a huge impact.
Okay, one defensive player. Like I said, we don't have the time to go into this, but adding one defensive player to a team that's not one defensive player away doesn't make them a winner like bringing Herschel Walker on to the Vikings in Wishbone. What he played didn't make them a winner. He's one player on a team that's not one player away, but I think Green Bay will win this game. Okay, moving on. And again, the NFL gods looked at the schedule and said, "Hey, wait a minute. Did we send the Vikings to Seattle yet this season? No? Okay, well, let's send them in week number 13. Let's send them in week number 13 because they haven't been, and I think every year we have to play the Seattle Seahawks, and I think every year we have to go out there. And oh, look, on the schedule, November 30th, Seattle Seahawks at Seattle. They may as well put them in our division. It's like, what do you say?
It's amazing between the Giants and the Seahawks.
Every year. Every
I'm like, man, and we're starting to. I think we're going to start seeing more of the Commanders, maybe. I don't know because or the Falcons 2 years in a row.
Falcons 2 years.
So
Mhm.
yeah, but yeah,
So what
Hmm.
do you say? Seattle.
Seattle Vikings win.
Okay. That game is in Seattle, and again, it's an elements game where it could be bad weather, it could be sloppy, it could be nasty. Going out to Washington, it's a 4 o'clock game, 4 o'clock Eastern, 3 o'clock Central Time game. I don't think
Yeah,
we pull this one out.
but
I don't.
their winners up there are not like New England winners, though. I mean, it's different, even with all the rain and stuff. So I'm not even worried about all that much. Although at that in the that late in the fall, if it starts raining, maybe it's not a good, maybe it's not a good thing. But
Well,
um,
I could say this.
I just think, yeah,
I've
go
only
ahead.
been to three Viking games in Seattle, and the weather's never been not bad. It's never been not nasty weather. It's you come inside, you're soaked, and even if it stops raining, you're still damp and it's chilled, and you're right underwater, and the Puget Sound and the smell of the fish. Don't get me wrong, the 12th man, rather, 12th man, and the crowd, great fans, great people, great state, but it's just, it's a house of horrors for road teams there. It really is. It's
Well,
not much better for baseball, by the way. I've been to a
yeah.
baseball game too. But
Well,
yeah,
The Vikings will win this game.
okay, so you
Period.
say Vikings. Okay, I'm going to say, see, this, again, this is one of the three, and I mentioned this game I'm torn by because I think Seattle could win this game, except for one thing. I think it would be very difficult for Brian Flores to allow Sam Darnold to pull off a W against him. He knows Sam Darnold.
Uh,
He knows Sam Darnold. He knows everything. This guy practiced against this defense. He's not going to see anything he ever practiced against. I
nope.
guarantee you that. He will not see any of that. So I'm going to go with the Vikings win. And you know what? Uh,
Hmm.
Sam Darnold, he may get the Anthony Richardson hug after the game where, KO goes over. He said, "You're doing great, kid. Good to see you. It's too bad. Maybe next time." And Michael McDonald, he could take his team. Again, like they say, they've got a long way to go. Such a long way to go. Yeah, but they're not going to beat the Vikings on that day. Okay, so now the Washington Commanders, which this game should interest me. It's not one of my three that I've got circled, but what do you say?
I picked the Commanders to. I'm not the Commander. I'm sorry. I picked the Vikings to win. If the thing that would is going to tip the scales is just playing at home. I'm telling you, the only reason I'm picking the Vikings to win now, if this game were on the road, I would be picking. I would easily be, uh, picking the Commanders.
Okay, so but you say
I said the
Minnesota.
Vikings. Yep, Minnesota wins. They're at home.
Okay. The Commanders, I think the Commanders they're definitely in the playoffs. I don't know if they're in the NFC Championship, but they're going to be one of the toughest teams this year unless the wheels fall off. Um, I think they're going to take the Lions' place in the standings this year as the team to beat in the NFC because
Mm.
they have a soft division. They've got, I mean, you play the Giants and the Cowboys twice. It's like the old Patriots thing, where you play the Jets and the Dolphins and the Bills when
Yeah,
the
but
Bills are no good.
they also play the Eagles twice though.
Okay.
So
Okay. Yeah. So
mm,
twice against the Eagles, then twice against the Giants and the Cowboys. So that's 4-2.
that's a split. That's a split with the Eagles, and then
You know,
four
you know,
other wins.
they'll probably
Yeah,
get
I got it.
swept by the Eagles. Yeah. But okay. But I say, but as far as the Commanders game go, I say that I say that's a loss. I think we're going to lose that game. Um.
Okay.
All right. Followed by now the two road games at Dallas, and that's a Sunday nighter. I don't know
Yeah.
why it's at Dallas on Sunday night. I don't know why Dallas is still playing primetime games, America's team, but okay, Sunday night game in Dallas. What do you say?
Vikings.
Yeah, that's
They're
you know what?
they're going to be this. It just starts with them being a better team. So I'm not even worrying about it because I don't. If the Cowboys win 5 games this year, I would be surprised. But they're not. They won't beat the Vikings. Just won't.
Yeah, Vikings. Period. That's it. That's my full analysis. Vikings. December 21st, Sunday, December 21st. We make that annual trip to MetLife Stadium in the freezing cold this time, not the beginning of the year, basically
Mm.
next to the end of the year or second to the end of the year, and we play the Giants. What do you say?
By this time, it's going to be, hey, Brian Flores, meet Jackson Dart.
Hmm.
By this time of the season, Jackson Dart will probably be under center. Either Russell Wilson got hurt, or he's at a point where the record doesn't, their record doesn't flash that they're a Super Bowl contender. They may not even be playoff contenders. Um, Now maybe they can be better. I don't know, but I at either rate, I this time by this time December 21st, Jackson Dart will be under center.
Okay, so you're saying
So,
Vikings.
yeah, Vikings.
Okay. I'm gonna say, and I will be at that game, of course, as always. That game will be over by halftime. The Giants fans will be in the parking lot as they always are at halftime, crying in their beers, in their frozen beers. Brian Dable will probably be the coordinator in some AFC team at that point. Whoever the interim coach is will be on the hot seat, and they'll be looking for a new one. I think they're going to clean house long before that. So by the time we get to the Giants game, the Giants won't be recognizable as they are. That's my prediction there.
All
Comes
right.
to the third game of the games that I said I circled. Christmas, 3:30 p.m. Central Time. Everybody's already unwrapped their gifts. They've already done all the Christmas stuff, and they can put all that stuff away and get on with real important stuff like football. The Vikings play the Lions in Minnesota. We're spending Christmas in Minnesota. So,
Uh, well, finally, KOC will have it figured out. The Vikings won't even eke it. They're gonna own the Lions. And again, it's not they're not gonna win by 40 points, okay? But what I'm saying is they will look like the team. They'll look like they did. It won't that this I'm not eking it out. I'm not doing They will decisively win, even though, like I said, not a blowout, might be a 10-point win, but they'll be well in control. And
okay,
O'Connell finally beats the Lions.
okay, all right. I've got the Vikings played, and I was in Minnesota for this game. We played the Bengals years and years ago. I think it was the 1980s. We played the Bengals on Christmas. It was the day that Billy Martin died, and
Mm.
we beat the Bengals to clinch a playoff berth. Had a great time there at the hotel and everything else. And I was watching the recap of the news, and then the sports news closed with, "Oh, and a sad note, former Yankees manager Billy Martin died." I'm thinking, I'm from New York. That would have been the lead story wherever I was. But I remember that, and I thought, wow, I'm not a Yankee fan. I hate the Yankees, but you know, Billy Martin, you got to respect.
Yep.
But the Vikings
Yep.
clinched a playoff berth, and that's all that was on my mind. I think this will be a repeat of that occurrence where on Christmas, the Vikings clinch a playoff berth on Christmas in
Wow.
Minnesota. So I am going with a
Wow.
Viking W for us to win that game and to clinch a playoff berth.
All
And
right.
then we have the Green Bay Packers, whenever that's going to be. It could be the 26th of December. It could be New Year's Eve. They don't know yet. It's going to be in Minnesota. What do you say?
And the second split. I said it. We'll split with the Lions, and we'll split with the Packers. They're
Okay.
good. They're that good. We're that good. We'll split at home.
So you said we're going to win that one.
Yes.
Okay. So what do you have as your final total?
All
Oh,
right.
by the way,
Hang on.
before you answer that, the Packers, the Packers are coming into Minnesota. I think we lose that game. I think we lose that game because, crazy as it sounds, I don't think we're playing our starters. I don't think we're playing our starters in that game. I don't think that game's going to matter in the standings, and I don't think we're going to care. That's just my opinion there. I don't think we'll clinch the first round bye, but I think wherever we are, we'll be locked in, so we're not going to play our starters. Okay, so what do you have for your total?
1 second. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13.
Okay, so you have
13
13
and
and 4.
4.
Okay, that's what I have for you here. And I have 11 and 6. I have 11 and 6. You have 13 and 4. Neither one of those is the 14 win season we had last year, but
Right.
hey, it is what it is. I'm not gonna go any further into the playoff scenarios in this episode. I'm gonna wrap it here. Um, and we'll be doing a follow-up after the first game is played during the week,
Day.
and we'll touch base on the outcome of that game, which we both predicted to be a W, and the performance of the offense, the defense, JJ McCarthy, and everything that we've seen. Um, any final words, closing thoughts?
Nah, just skull and just skull.
Yep, for me, I'm glad the season has finally begun. No more
Uh,
waiting, no more camps, no more training, no more draft, no more any of that. Just let's play football and Skull Vikings. So this has been Razor
I'm
Q
cute.
from the QR code, and we'll see you next time.